Battlecry of Freedom by Ngakma Nor'dzin.
Part 2, the slogans. Slogan 38. Do not look for happiness in others' pain.
Ki yanlag tu dug ma chol.
Do not delight in an enjoyable ride if it has been the cause of pain or distress for the horse. Horse riding offers many opportunities for thelwell moments. Riders may sail over jumps without their mounts. Riders may lose their stirrups and reins and end up wrapped around their horses' necks. I once saw a young lad slide sideways off a horse at the trot over the course of several footfalls. It was like watching a cartoon. Horses acting unpredictably and riders being discombobulated can give rise to amusing scenarios. Once it is ascertained that no one has been injured, there is no problem in finding such situations amusing. It would be inappropriate for a practitioner, however, to look for such situations as a source of happiness. There were certain horses at the riding school that were notorious for stopping just in front of a jump. Buck was one of them. It would not have been an awakening attitude to watch a rider on Buck approaching a jump, wishing for him to stop at the last minute.
Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche says, happiness that is built on pain is spurious and only leads to depression in the long run.
As Dee would not hack out on her own, I was always looking for people I could join up with for a ride. One time I joined a couple of people for a ride to Forest Vower. The lady who was leading the ride noticed that her mare had a loose shoe. I thought this would mean that the ride was cancelled, but to my surprise we set out anyway. The mare would not be in pain from a loose shoe, but there is always the possibility that a loose shoe becomes a lost shoe. Then it could be a problem. Many of the tracks have pebbles and rough ground that could make a bare hoof sore when it is used to the protection of a metal shoe. Nevertheless, we rode out, and we were riding for 3 hours altogether. The lady's mare did not become lame or appear to be uncomfortable, though the shoe was indeed lost. My personal feeling is that I would not have embarked on a 3-hour ride on a horse with a loose shoe. I would have felt too concerned for the welfare of the horse. Even though it was not my mare and I was not responsible, it did affect my enjoyment of the ride. I could not help myself keep looking to check whether the mare still seemed to be all right.
Ngakma Rinpoche says, life is not fair. We experience the results of the causes we create, but there's also the chaotic unfolding of the universe. Things happen for which no rhyme or reason can be found. If we require life to be fair in order to be happy, we are doomed to unhappiness. There will always be people who are more successful than we are, even though we work harder. According to the Tibetan story, when the good luck lady comes to live with me, I can be sure it will not be long before her sister, the bad luck lady, will want to come and live with me as well. The two sisters cannot be separated.
Life can be experienced as unsatisfactory. Sometimes things go well and sometimes things go badly. Life is also not fair, and sometimes things go well for bad people and badly for good people. There could be a temptation to feel satisfied when things go badly for bad people. There could be the feeling that misfortune is justified for a bad person and they deserve it. These attitudes are not helpful to mind training. Commiserate with bad luck and try to help. Recognize what is bad and breathe it in. Appreciate and celebrate good luck, whomever is experiencing it. Appreciate what is good and breathe it out. It is not necessary to own or personally experience good fortune to enjoy it. There is no need to examine justice or fairness. Awakening practitioners wish all beings to be happy and to find the path of awakening. Their aspiration does not have any caveats. All beings accept.
Ngakpa ö-Dzin says, sometimes it is useful to reverse a mind training slogan and see how ridiculous that would be as an instruction.
If this slogan were reversed, it would be, seek happiness in others' pain. Very few people would wish to admit that they gained happiness in that way, yet unfortunately many people do find others' pain entertaining, as demonstrated by many reality TV shows. This attitude is detrimental to mind training. It opposes the intention to benefit others. The wish to help others can also be occluded through wishing life to be fair and in wishing people to get what it is felt they deserve.
Ngakchen Rinpoche and Khandro Dechan say, Tantrikas understand that it is impossible to disconnect from killing. They understand that it is so simply because they have human bodies. They recognize that to have a body and to exist is to cause death. From this knowledge they establish compassionate connections with everyone and everything everywhere. Tantrikas are aware that they cannot extricate themselves from involvement in exploitation, social injustice, oppression and theft.
Another aspect of avoiding seeking happiness in others' pain is taking responsibility for the effect personal activity has on others. Everyone is always completely compromised. It is not possible to live in the world without cooperating with the exploitation of others or without inadvertently hurting others. Everyone everywhere is totally dependent on everyone else. Everyone's lives are interconnected. This is not about being politically correct. It is not about buying fairly traded products and recycling to save the planet, donating to charities, working as a volunteer and so forth, though such activity may be beneficial. It is about accepting the reality of being unable to live as a physically present human being without harming others. It is about taking responsibility for harm through that acceptance, rather than abdicating responsibility because there is no intention to harm. It is about attempting to live causing as little harm as possible and making life meaningful by being as much benefit as possible.